on, it might come up on yours, I don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
What is? We are back. It's One Way Fighting. It's your man Neill Smith, and today we got with us Anthony Duffy. Just a little bit about Anthony. Fucking 6'3" me, fucking 18.5 stone. What, fight with any of the fucking heavyweights in fucking sparring, but this little fucking 5'11" fucking chimpanzee fucking kicking the shit out my legs, wouldn't want to fucking do the sparring with him. He's a bad man. Trained with him for fucking, what, about four years, was it? Something like that. We trained for a while, like, but not like regular every single day, but we were in and out the same gyms. But go on, so fill us in a bit about yourself, lad. We can see you chose to go for the background with all his fucking medals. Like, I just keep.
Oh, so first of all, right, thanks. You're very kind with the introduction, as well as a liar. So I wish I was.
No, I'm serious, lad. I'm serious. You used to kick me fucking shins off, lad.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, maybe I had a few lucky days, but I'm closer to 5'9". But yeah, I met you years ago, lad, and we've had some good sessions, good training sessions together. And then you see each other from gym to gym, don't you? Hopping around, and I've pretty much been doing the same thing ever since. Yeah.
Where are you training out of now?
So at the moment, my striking is sort of fell by the wayside, but I still stay with Glyn from Alliance Muay Thai. Okay, so I'll still go to him for me bits of striking. That's only really to keep, like, wet the whistle. Do you know what I mean? I've got no aspirations of competing any kind of Muay Thai or anything like that. But who knows? Never say never. I'm going to do it again in the future. I'm training. The majority of my training now is in Liverpool and over the water in Ellesmere Port. So what I do to go around the world a little bit with the Neill is my coach, or my coaches now, is Kev Corkill, that you're obviously going to be familiar with, and Harry McKnight. So Kev's a black belt under Gordo Jiu-Jitsu, Ben Poppleton, and Harry's also a black belt on the next gen, Paul Rimmer. So between the two of these gyms, I get me coaching and me training from. And then I'm also active. My heaviest rounds, believe it or not, on a Saturday and Sunday, I get my heaviest rounds on open mats. I'll go to the open mats. Matty Holmes from Next Gen, he runs a heavy open mat on a Sunday, so I've been keen down there. But yeah, so between the two gyms, so the two gyms would be Trident, martial arts, over the water, and then also Precision, which is in brutal ways. But they're both under Gordo as well, so it's sound. I can flip between the two of them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're still competing, like you've got to, like, what's that mostly, the open mat or Thai, or you did your box throughout fucking the Marines, didn't you, as well?
So, like I said to you before you started the recording, that was just by complete accident and chance that I set up my phone here. But yeah, what a great coincidence that is.
Totally.
There's a few bits there. So there's that belt in the background from Muay Thai. That was from that was a guy in Leicester, and he brought me in. I think it was his last fight, and he wanted him to go out on a big win, and he was unbeaten, this lad. He brought me in to sort of like lose. I think he said his record was something a bit moody as well, to sort of entice the fight a bit, make it seem a bit fair. And he was from the Punjabi community, this guy. And he had a massive following. Like, he had BBC, only like local news, but he had like this thing going on with BBC, and you're all behind him. And when I went into there, just to let you know, dead quick about that one there, when we went in, it was the most hostile fucking crowd ever. Everyone was like, just fucking, even like the guys that would be putting the music on and that, everyone was dead funny, dead moody with us. And I stopped him in the third round, put him away, put him a kip in the third round, right? And fucking, as much as everyone was dead moody and dead off with us and hostile and that, everyone had total respect. Everyone shook me hand on the way out the ring. Everyone was dead classy and dead sportsmanlike about it. Whereas, I mean, I'm not slagging off my own community and that, but we've all been to MMA shows, we've all been to these moody fight shows when everyone's had too much beer and whatever else goes with fucking beer for certain people. And yeah, I've seen some heavy stuff happen in the crowd, worse than in the cage. But
always
these guys,
the first involved, isn't it? The birds are always the first one. Got the vodka.
Always the girls, isn't it? Shit, it's coming across as sexist as well now. But anyway, fuck
that.
So, do you know what, though? Like I said, they just wanted their guy to win. And they brought me in and I'd done the business. And then when I come out today, everyone was dead respectful, everyone was dead nice and everything. And I think even the fella was sound too. But my coach, or rather his coach or the promoter said, we've got another match up for whatever on this half decent show. He was GP MC or something. He went, we need an opponent for this guy who's fucking 6-1, I think he said. So my coach went, Tony will have that fight. He'll take that fight. And he was like, I think they've already had it before, mate. And said the lad's name. And he went, hang on, 6-1. So that means that he was 6-0. So he was unbeaten, this lad. Right? They made out his record was a bit shitty to get us to take the fight, so I'd get smoked. You with me? And then went the other again. It's fucking funny, isn't it? Yeah. So
it's the way though, lad, because we have like done boxing for a long time. I was speaking to a gym and that, like going on. I might do a few amateurs in the boxing because I only really done the MMA. And they were like, "Oh, we'll just get you on a white collar." I'm like, I fought MMA and that, like, it was a bit fucking naughty, like throwing me on a white collar and that, you know what I mean? Quite a few fights I've boxed for a long time. Like white collars, like someone's just like, "Oh, I might go and box, so I'll do 8 weeks of training." And
if you want to raise a few bit for a charity or something. Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it's all right. We'll give him 8 weeks training. He'll be in your weight class and you'll have a good fight." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm not going in and just fucking lumping some fucking kid who's do something nice."
Some fella who's booked a few days off work so we can get a bit of extra training in. Wants to raise some money. Someone in the fucking kid's school who's in a wheelchair, and he's like, yeah, I'll give that a little go.
It's like their first day learning how to do babies. Yeah, they're learning how to do babies on the first day. It's like, no, not a chance, lad.
But that's from Ty. There's a few other bits and bobs. With grappling specifically, I've always sort of, not prided myself, it's a bit egotistical, but I've always sort of wanted to compete in any rule set. So that took me into, like, I've got a few things there from like the catch wrestling worlds, which was fucking mad because it's held in like for like it's a niche sport anyway, as you know, and catch wrestling is niche within that. But it brings out all these Puritans. So on the same fucking card as me, fucking Anthony Duffy from Bill was ex-UFC heavyweight champion Josh the War Master Barnett. Do you know what I mean? So me and him are just standing there waiting to get fucking weighed in, and I'm like, Josh Barnett there, fucking madness this. You know what I mean?
Fucking absolute legend as well, though. And it's not like he's just been in the UFC. He's a fucking legend, isn't it, lad?
People like fucking. I mean, obviously he's in the news at the moment for that terrible stuff that's happened with him, like the poor bastard. But Cain Velasquez and you know, all these like top legendary heavyweights, they all look up to fucking Josh Barnett. He was out there smoking people in fucking Pride and all of the old school like MMA without gloves and all that. And then next thing I'm on this card with him, he's like fucking wrestling Ian Jones. He's fucking he's a catch wrestler and a black belt in BJJ as well. But he was Victor Henry, I think he's in the UFC. John, who's the kid from London, down south, one of the shoe fighters. You know. But anyway, the card, the catch wrestling Wales was fucking packed with like these stars, man. You know what I mean? It's like fucking hell, this is amazing. And then like other bits and bobs, catch wrestling, obviously submission, grappling, doing jiu-jitsu.
You know what you'll like, lads? You know what you'll fucking love, right? So the first year I come to Gran Canaria and that, I'm like just standing at this restaurant having a drink and that, and they're putting all these fucking mats out on the fucking beach right in front of us in Puerto Rico, and they just have Canadian wrestling. Basically, lads, it's just the same as the collegiate wrestling, and like they just do a full day from like fucking 12 in the morning to 9 at night, and they just have competition after competition. The Canadians just go at it through fucking 30-degree heat, and they're just shooting, drilling people, and you see them getting 5-10 minutes in, and they're just dying, sweating because they got no time.
On the beach.
On the beach, lad. They just mat it out with like the mesh mats. Like,
what is it that they're doing then? Is it wrestling? Is it like
just competition wrestling, lad?
Yeah. And it's an actual competition, or are they just training on
they run it through the day. They want a weight class, run X amount of fucking rounds, and then whoever wins will go on to that one, and then they'll do 2 weight classes after, and then run their next fight, next one after that, and they'll just do each weight class to split it up to give them a bit of time.
Yeah, so you run like a tournament.
Yeah, they ran 3 weight classes, and they just ran each one afterwards, and the winner would go on to fight on the next one. It went through till about like fucking 9 at night, lad. I just sat there having a beer, thinking, like, first beer, I'm like, he looks tasty, 2-3 beers, bit of sun. I'm like, I'll go down now.
I'll go, We're doing sign up, exactly. We're doing sign up for this. Yeah. But that sounds amazing, like fucking being on the beach. Like Copacabana, you see these old videos, don't you? Fucking the Gracies on the fucking beach, grappling and all that. But that's typical fucking tournament fashion. That, you know what I mean? You've got some poor bastard who's probably signed up first thing in the morning, and they're like, yeah, you're on mat 2 at fucking 8:45 at night. He's like, fuck's sake, man. Don't go anywhere, because you'll fucking be on any minute.
Stay hydrated in the 30-degree sun for fucking 12 hours.
Let me tell you this, right? So we went to, it was ADCC, and it was in Norway. And I went out there with, you know Adam Hodgson?
Adam Hodgson, I was going to mention him in a bit,
Sick wrestler. So went out there with him, Chris Walsh, from Next Gen, black belt, who I got me brown belt top, funny enough. Went out there with him and his brother Andrew, who's also my mate. We went out and it was a fucking shit show, the way it was ran. These are all cutting weight. I was half all right. I was all right. Like, I'd fucking been good and that's all. I was all right. But I got in the sauna anyway, because it was like, you know, whatever. So they're all cutting weight. Adam, you know, he's a crazy cunt, isn't he? He walks around and like fucking just lies and he's like, no, I'll fucking cut to 58. And like, lad, you're like 74 kilo. What are you talking about? Just, he's got this wrestling mentality.
Yeah.
Adam's like proper drained. And like, we're saying to this lad who's organising it, look, can we just get on the scales? Can we get him on the scales and get a fucking lit up so we can get a bit of water in him or something? And it went on all day, all fucking day. And then like, eventually, because they just took their eye off the ball with this event. In the end, it went from like, no, there's got to be a system to the weigh-ins, till quick, everyone jump on the fucking scales and then get on the mat, to don't worry about the scales, there's no time for that, just fucking get on anyway. So Adam's had to wait the entire day for fucking to get on the scales, and then when it gets to it, like, don't worry about that, you're going to be on fucking mat 3 in a bit, or something like that. And he went on, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying, but he went on, and he should have fucking annihilated this kid, and the kid just fucking, he caught him, I can't even remember what it was, I don't tell you, but he caught him with something fucking, Adam ended up having a little nap, yeah. But the honest to God, lad, the event was the way, and I was thinking, because like, it's revered, isn't it, as a fucking event, ADCC, the biggest fucking thing grappling. But obviously, because of the name of it, they sell off to people who want to run their own ADCC fucking little tournaments, and that's what this was.
Like a little franchise.
Exactly that, yeah. So we went out there, thought sound all right, but so we all fucking lost. So as much as like saying about Adam, we all fucking lost, right? I went out in the first round, we all fucking lost. So get on the phone, Chris Tomo, who was my coach at the time, like, oh, fucking shit this, bro, I can't wait to get back. So I thought, let's drown our sorrows, let's have it, and I was still drinking at the time, I was like, let's fucking
you'll have an hydrated all day.
You know what I mean? So let's have a fucking beer. Do you know what I mean? We've all lost, we've all been fucking smoked, we're in a different country, what do you do? So we get in a fucking taxi and go, like, take us here, wherever, take us to fucking home, we're going to get some fucking bevies and go back to the hotel. And you can't buy alcohol in Norway on a Saturday. You can't buy it from the supermarket. So I pick up these cans, get on this. So it was like 4 cans at Tuborg, and it was like fucking 30 odd euro, right?
Yeah, it is.
So I thought, I'm going to just cut me loss. Excuse me, I've just lost. So I'm just going to buy them, and I don't even care that it's 30 odd euros. So I bought the fucking drink. And the woman went like this, she's paying to get me crisp and whatever else off the fucking conveyor belt. Just grabs the cans, goes bing, puts them in a bin, just fucking. I thought I was getting them. So then somebody says, no, you can't get alcohol from. So we get in this taxi. And we're like, look, mate, where can we get a bevy from here? And he's like on the phone, like he was phoning for bits and all that. He was like, I'm going to phone me mate. You don't have to wait outside the cab, but it's only whiskey. I'm like, oh, fucking, I only want a beer. I don't want a fucking bottle of whiskey. Yeah. No, it's only whiskey, and it's going to be like hundreds and hundreds of euros. I was like, no, just drop us at the hotel, mate. all sat around the fucking hotel bar like that. Can I have another pint? Yeah, €19. Yeah, fucking bet you it is. Yeah, there you go. There's your fucking keep the €1 change. Just
Yeah,
fucking
lad.
spent about fucking £200 at the hotel bar, walked out stone cold sober.
You know what the fucking funny thing is, lad? All the Scandinavians have a season over in Gran Canaria. And it's like fucking euro a pint, lad. I'm talking like Heineken and Amstel and shit like that, not like fucking the local shite. And they'll fucking sit there, there'll be 6 of them. One of them will buy a beer so they can all watch the entertainment. You think we're like, it's like 30 quid a pack of cigs over there, they'll all share the same pack and that. Fucking stingy ass bastards, lads. No offense if you're from Scandinavia, like, I've got a lot of Scandinavian mates. But seriously, you think you'd just be going mad?
Do you know what that is though, Neil? That's a culture thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's, our British culture is like the 2-for-1 thing, isn't it? Where it's like, oh, it's 2 for 1. Oh, we'll give fucking 8 then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In other countries, they're like, well, no, I only want to watch the entertainment. I don't need to then get under beers. Yeah, but it's dead fucking cheap. Yeah, so
get it while you can, lad. Make hay while the sun shines. That's the main thing, lad, isn't it? Right. The bar might run dry. Just keep drinking. That's it.
Exactly. Yeah. But I like them trips. I like them little trips away competing. Obviously, it's hard because I've got kids and that, but I like to learn just a little trip around something instead of just going away for the sake of it. I always, if I'm going somewhere, I always try and look at like if I can compete out there, get something going, or even if I go with the kids, I always try and find somewhere to train. It's nice, isn't it? It's nice to find like goes to this community, find somewhere like fucking meet new people and train and whatever else.
You used to do like family holidays to Thailand, family holidays that resulted in you training and that, and the family standing watching and that, didn't you?
That's, I mean, when I went to Thailand, like that's what I said to the baby's mum and the kids. I was like, if we're going to Thailand, then I'll do anything at all. It sounds like selfish, but I was like, I'll do anything at all. I don't care what it is. I'll do anything at all as long as I get left alone to get me training in the morning and an evening session. So the way it worked out in my defence is I'd go train 7 till 9. They're just getting out of bed. You know what I mean? I'll meet them at the and then when everyone's getting ready, because we had all the family and that, like extended family in that as well. And then when everyone's getting ready, putting the glad rags on over night time, like 5 till 7, I'd go and do my evening session, you know what I mean? But, fucking funny, I forgot all about this. But I was like massively dehydrated because I was burning the candle at both ends. I was training fucking twice a day in this humidity and going out and fucking eating like that salty food and drinking loads of fucking ale and everything else. So, Ma knew the fucking owner of this hotel or whatever, and they have like this party at the end, this fucking like quite like everyone gets dressed up and that, and it's quite formal or whatever else. And I had like fucking massive dehydration and food poisoning and fucking hungover, and all the boxes were sick for a typical Brit abroad. And I was all shaky and all that, right? And I was in the fucking shower. I was in the shower, like just nothing on at all, just sick, being sick. I'm fucking shitting all of this, right? And I'm just curled up, just eating this like lovely papaya or mango, just trying to get something in me, just trembling. And she's like, the fucking state of you, you need to get ready. I was like, I can't go to the party. She's like, you can't not go to the party. You've been invited, like this, you're cordial invited to the fucking cellar, your own hotel. So I was like, turning up to this party, and I'm all weird and trembly and shaky and pale and that. The fucking fella comes over and he's like, saying to me, he goes, he's like, you're okay? Do you need to sit down? Like, he fucking was that rough. He was like, fucking hell, is he going to keel over in my party? Yeah. And sat me down in the corner. You know, the funny thing is, I had a beer and it felt all right.
Yeah.
I had a fucking beer and I was like, yes, what's happening?
Nah, it's mad that though. Like it's like the captain of the ship when you go on a cruise, he invites you down to dinner and all that. Like
exactly. Yeah, that kind of thing it was. Yeah, both of them. I was human, hated me. Fucking knew he'd do something on this all. All right, fucking hell.
He's at least the law, yeah.
Yeah, at least to save it to the last day. Yeah.
Nah, I don't blame you, lad. Funnily enough, like I had Clark, he used to have the gym where I first met him. I had him on here, and we were talking about you. Clark brought it up when remember we had the UFC on it. I can't even remember what fucking event it was. I had it on round our flat and that. And fucking me and you
I've seen it going, sorry.
No, we just come in and just the fucking air rifle, in the proper air rifles and that, just fucking shooting Clark and that.
Oh God, like what was it, like airsoft or BBs or something like that, weren't it?
Gas powered them, lads.
Yeah, they fucking ate them, didn't they? Yeah. God, you're lucky, especially because we've been up all night drinking. Well, I had been up all night and fucking drinking and watching UFC. Lucky someone didn't lose a fucking eye. You start messing around with like fucking BB guns and that.
Yeah. They were mad times then, because like I was burning the candle at both ends, lad. I'd be working all day in the solicitors, then I'd go and fucking train or do a few classes or whatever. And then like come the weekend, I'd be like, that fuck it, UFC's on, let's just have a fucking long one.
Yeah, you go bananas.
Yeah.
But think about it, Neill, that was 10 years ago, maybe.
Easy, lad. How old are you now, Tom? I'm 38 now.
Yeah, I'm 42.
42. I was going to ask you before, like, you know, like when you used to just fucking smash it, train 7 days a week, you do a couple of fucking like fucking sessions, then you did weights at the gym or something, or my fucking back fucking keeps going, my knees. Lad, if I'm not even holding the pads and I just take a fucking little hard one to the fucking pad, my fucking knees, lad, shaky as
if there's a bit of lateral movement on your knee, I mean, like your ligaments.
Yeah. How are you getting on with that? The 40?
Yeah, to be honest, like I said, I'm 42, and like for example, with training for like perfect example there, what you're saying about saying that, like I would have nothing coming in. Like when we started, I wouldn't have, because I wasn't competing. I wouldn't have anything coming up, but I'd still be training like fucking twice a day, 6 days a week. And now, for example, I was I work for myself, and I had a few days where I wasn't in work. So like yesterday, I trained twice. And then the day before, I trained 3 times. One being like a strength session in the middle of the day, but 2 like heavy sessions with rounds in them and that. And what I've found is that like the older I get, I've realised, and people have advised me as well, is that your training it needs to have peaks and troughs, and within them peaks and troughs, that needs to have ups and downs as well. So, for example, if you're going to go balls to the wall on fucking Tuesday, say you've got heavy rounds on a Tuesday, Wednesday morning, you're not going to fucking do heavy rounds. And within them heavy rounds, if I can go back a sec, then within that, you're gonna have bits where you'll taper off a little bit and then come in and you'll work on something else. And you might do specific sparring from bad areas and things like that. So I think it's just, without sounding fucking like a cliche, it's just knowing your body and fucking listening, isn't it?
I've literally had a little bit of time off and that with Christmas, the kids, and you know, doing different shit and that. And like the last few weeks, like I've just literally just took 2 days off, lad. I just said to myself, like, it's too much at the minute. Like I'm just fucking smashing it in the fucking gym as hard as I can. Just took 2 days off there. I'm gonna go back like tonight, but fucking 2 days. I'm just feel like fucking bored and fucking I need to train and that. But I'm just having to listen to my body because I'm just like feeling like I'll be in bed in the middle of the night and I'll wake up and my collarbones are fucking killing or something from lifting something or something like that.
Yeah, I took a few weeks back. I was like waking up in the morning time. It's always shit. In the morning, I always feel like I'm being ran over and feel like fucking hell. What's happened here? Someone punch fuck out of me in the middle of the night. Because I'll wake up and I'll be aching all over. And obviously I take all my supplements, everything else, and just do as much as I can with like, I've got like an inversion table, fucking hang upside down like a bat, like a weirdo. I use that, static
like decompress your spine and that?
Yeah. So I do all this. I do all this. I try and do like stretching at the end of my session, which I'm not as diligent with, but I should be. I always have a little stretch. So I have like little things, like little coping mechanisms that I put in place that help me with, you know, this thing we mentioned before about this fucking men's mental health thing. So a lot of the stuff I do now, I'll do like my breath work, I'll do me yoga and me meditating stuff. So I'll throw like me stretching in amongst that. But I mean, the bottom line is, if you've got fucking injuries, they're injuries, aren't they? So no amount of fucking breath work is going to help if you've got a torn ACL. Whereas I think sometimes people think like, oh, I'll just be able to work around that. You can work around most injuries, but some shit you have to get looked at, don't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you do, lad, you do. I had the chipped elbow there. I went down on the stair with the baby in my hands, turned the baby, smashed me thing on one of the tile fucking stairs, and like it was moving, lad. There was like a big lump of fucking bone moving.
Yeah.
You know what fucking dickhead did? it's fucking killing, like, but I'll just go down now. I'll just throw another 10k on the fucking on the ice bar. Fuck it. Just like, just beat it through with fucking pain and that. But the thing with me, and the thing with you is, I always remember, like, I'd finish like fucking 10 rounds of every sparring. I'd be going for a fucking heavyweight fight thinking I don't need to cut weight. I'll fucking finish that of a can of Dr. Pepper. And you'd be sat there with like kale juice. Fucking, keep your body hydrated and that.
Yeah.
I'm just like fucking dickhead, Mars bar. Fucking, let's just eat whatever. Fucking sound.
You know what? That's true. That's something that I've been all right with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nowadays, obviously, we're both family members, both got kids. So you know what it's like at times. I'll eat goodies. All right, I'll be honest. I'll fucking eat goodies with the kids and that. But my diet, like what I put in, so I might have like fucking like processed sugar and stuff at times. But my diet, the good gear, I'll always have like my brekkie there, my brekkie shake. I've had the same thing unless I need to make weight because it's quite carby. I find if I have to make weight, I'll have like eggs, like a whole eggs with some spinach. But if not, my brekkie shake has stayed the same for years now. And what it is I'll get like, you get this cold pressed beetroot juice from like Tesco or something.
Yeah.
And I'll throw that in a blender, a litre of that, with like a fucking load of kale or spinach, load of leafy greens. Some avocados get the good fats in there, and a shitload of ginger and lemon. And I used to put in Neill, I used to put like fucking banana and strawberry. I like all that now. I don't fucking put any fruit in it, find out it spiked me insulin and I'd be hungrier later on anyway. Yeah. So I have that. So I suppose because I've done it for that long. My kids, I'll give my kids some of it when I make it. I'll be like, yeah, I neck that to Olivia, my middle one. I'll go, yeah, I'll have some of that and she'll drink some of it. So I always try and make sure I get the fucking good gear in. I suppose, like, when I think about it now, being 42, it has helped over the long run.
Lad, you look younger than me, lads. You're 4 years old, you look younger than me, lad.
I don't feel it. I don't feel it, lad. I feel all right, though. I feel all right. Yeah. Nothing
it's one of them, though, lads. Like, for me lately, like, being where I am and that, I've got, like, fucking, I'm going down, I'm hitting pads and fucking doing this, that and the other, but I don't get much sparring in. And for me, that's, like, the fucking difference. That's the difference because, like, you always remember if you've had a few months off and you get it in the fucking nose for the first time, eyes watering and that, you try not to let anyone fucking see it. You lose that fucking hardness, don't you? You get a little bit fucking soft. That's what I need. That's what I need to get back, lad. And I'm looking to try and fucking put that back in the next week or two. That's like where you were saying before, going down with your tight coach and that. Got to always have them rounds. Otherwise, you feel like a bit of a bitch.
Here's the thing, though, Neill. And I used to have that view, right? And it's changed a little bit more over the last few years, right? Do you need to have them rounds? Now, I understand if you've got a fight coming up, and you don't want the first time to get a reminder of what it feels like to get fucking hit hard, to be when it's live, to be when it fucking matters, when you're an opponent in front of you. So I understand having these rounds and getting some form of conditioning to it. But do you know the rounds, and I'll go on to this now as well, do you know these rounds where people think like fucking, it's like high profile fighters where they'll get like fucking CTA and they get brain injuries and stuff like that, and it's off the big fights and stuff. It's off these rounds when you're just giving rounds away in the gym randomly. And I've been guilty of it myself, mate. That you talking when we first started about sparring. Now I shouldn't be sparring for the most part with heavyweight guys. Shouldn't really be doing that. It's not really. I feel the risk reward for both of you isn't worth it. You know what I mean? There's the risk outweighs the reward. Now, I've had it before where I've been doing heavy rounds in the gym, or I've been getting ready for something, somebody's giving me rounds, so then they've had something coming up and I've felt obliged to fucking get in the mix, and then somebody will have another fight coming up, and then before you know it, you're getting fucking like 5 nights a week where you're getting heavy rounds. And I've had a few concussions over the last few years, and the last one that I got, funnily enough, was I was grappling and there was a pair next to us, and it was just a weird freak thing where somebody had fucking done something, and it was basically like getting a fucking shin across the back of my neck. But the concussion was that bad off it, and it's obviously like an onset of other ones. The concussion was that bad that like somebody passed me like a few days later, I still felt wavy and that. I was in the gym, and my coach at the time, he was like, look, just sit out, just fucking take time off. Like, yeah, all right, sound. I'm not going to take time off. So then it was, he come up to me, I went like that to me and patted me on the shoulder, Neill, I was like, you're all right. And my fucking head went like it was going to like fall over. And I was like, whoa. And like the ground went all wavy and that. And I took 2 weeks in the end. My coach was like, sit out, just go home, please. So it took like 2 weeks of doing nothing at all. And it took about that to get rid of this concussion. And then somebody said to me, he was like, be honest with yourself. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try and take fights on, and where's that going? Like, I'll have a look at the bigger picture here. Do you need to be doing these rounds? I know it's fun, I know you enjoy it, and I know you fucking probably think like to think you're good at it, but do you need to be doing these fucking heavy round after round? And I'm thinking, I haven't seen me mate for, because this is how we socialise, Neil. So you'd be like, I haven't seen me mate for a while. Oh, he's fighting on Yoho. Let's get in. I'll give him a few rounds and that.
Tune him up.
Do you know what I mean? Well, that's all well and good for him, because he's 28 and he's fucking fighting to get through the fucking ranks in the UK, and he's fucking good at it. And you're just bouncing in. You've fucking been grappling. You haven't done any striking for months, and you're gonna just go in the gym and give him a few rounds because you're his mates. But what happens when you get
I remember like I'd gone into Kev Ward's gym in fucking Seaforth when it was the Team Elite. They got a separate one in Seaforth. And like I'd not trained maybe for 12 months, proper serious lad. I'd just had the Brent Tierney fight, got me fucking rib broken that. And I was just a bit fucking down. So it was in front of about fucking however many thousand people in fucking the Reebok. Fucking, you know what I mean? It wasn't like fucking the best. So I was like fucking...
It was a few years, sorry to interrupt, but it was a few years ago when you're referring to as the Reebok. It would have been the Reebok then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Well, this is going back, like you say, about 10 years. But I walked in, and Kev's going, you know, do a bit in that. We've got this fucking fella here. He's going to be fighting in a week and that. You go in, and I'm just like, yeah, sound, whatever, Kev, like your fucking coach, I'll do whatever. I just walked in. It was this big fucking farm boy from fucking Southport, lad, like fucking a couple inches taller than me, fucking broader than me and that. I mean, he didn't hit like fucking like Addy training with people at welter and middleweight, because not only can they catch me, but the dynamic, a lot more powerful. Heavyweights step through like they're trying to push it over, and a lot of the time, like, and luckily for me, that's what he was like. But he just caught me in about the 7th or 8th round, bang right in the stomach, and he didn't have to hit me dynamic, lad. I was just like, I haven't sparred for a year. I was like, poof. I just remember thinking, lad, I just no more. What am I doing in here? I've come in to get on the pads and get a bit of cardio. Now I'm 7 rounds in with this fucking heavyweight who's a week away from his fucking fight. You're mad. Kev's going, come on, lad, you're doing a good fight. I'm like, nah, Kev. I went, nah, I just don't need it, lad. Don't need it in my life today. I went, come back to me in 8 weeks when I put work in. I went, this is like second session back, and you're asking me to fucking spar with a kid a week out. I haven't trained properly in a year, lad. No fucking chance. I was like, I'm glad he's got 6 or 7 rounds out of me.
Yeah, you need that bit of perspective, don't you? I remember fucking when I didn't really understand like the etiquette. I fucking hadn't done anything. You remember I used to ride my bike? Remember I had that Ninja, didn't I?
Yeah.
So I used to ride a Kawasaki Ninja, and obviously I'd put my little backpack on and go to the gym, my gloves and that in. And the gym I was going to and speak, Lee Chadwick, who's in Bellator now.
Yeah.
He was in there, but he was getting ready for it. I think he was fighting, like, he just took like a heavyweight boxing title fight on. And somebody just got wobbled and got out the ring with him. I think like Tonks had him doing rounds in there. And I didn't know what the thing. So I got into the gym and I was like, can I have a spar? Like, is he's fucking mad to think back now? He's getting ready for this thing that he's took, I think maybe last minute. So he's took in 2 weeks notice. And I've asked him if I can get in and have a little move around with him. So he's not known for fucking going lights anyway. So get in and get fucking bingoed everywhere by him, yeah. Fucking get on me bike, I can't remember it. Like, it was just like, I got in there and I realised, I was like, oh, I haven't thought this fucking through yet. Like, how do I get out? I was fearful for what was going to happen to me next. You know, when you're taking shots and I had my guard up high, and it's just, I'm feeling it rattled me fucking, my brain through the fucking guard, and I thought, oh no, this is horrible. And then another one was clearly concussed there. I got on my bike, rode the bike home. Couldn't remember fucking riding a motorbike through the traffic and nothing like that. And but this, back to what I was saying, you pick up these little fucking concussions and you don't realise.
Yeah.
Like, you know, something will happen in the gym, and because it hasn't been a clean shot that's dropped you, it'll be something, you'll be like, oh, I'll just sit this next one out and then jump back in. it's that shit. Like jokes aside, it's that shit that fucking that puts you in a bad place when you get into into your 40s, 50s, 60s, I suppose.
How hard is it, Lee? How hard does Lee it like a truck?
Yeah, very hard, yeah, like a fucking truck. And yeah, we're fucking playing games, and but to his like testament to, he's getting ready for something. Like I had no business fucking asking if I can get rounds off him, you know what I mean? If he's going to indulge some fucking lad who's just bouncing into the gym, then that's on me, innit? You know what I mean? But since then, I mean, my mates, I mean, we do rounds like in ASW. I was with ASW for a while, and then I see Lee all the time. He's sound, he's good. He was at the last thing that I done at ASW. They have this hybrid grappling thing on every couple of months, and they have like, it's good actually. So what they do is they have they'll have like white belts and blue belts fucking just put the names in a hat, and then they all just fucking pick them out no matter what weight class, and they all just like go against each other. It's boss. And then after that they'll have like proper matchups, you know what I mean? So Lee was matched up with he was matched up with somebody black belt from Next Gen, and I was on there against this lad Dech, who he runs submission super fights. And I was on there against him, so that was good. I got to like see Lee do a bit there, and I got to do a bit. But these like little in-house comps are good because like you can sort of fucking have fun with it as well. Do you know what I mean? The mats are nice and soft there, so I was like, I'm just gonna go a bit fucking weird here and start like throwing flying triangles up, and you know what I mean? Just have a fucking bit of a laugh with it as well. But the submission grappling scene now, the sub-only grappling scene is like, it's fucking flying, you know what I mean? There's like, you can compete every weekend if you want on good shows against good people. You don't like, I think you still got to cut your teeth a little bit, but them days of like waiting every 3 months to fucking sign up for a competition in a sports hall and waiting around all day to do a tournament, I think
it's scary as well though. Like when like sort of the time like 10, 15 years ago, like when we were sort of not starting out, like but I was mostly boxing, maybe a bit of Italian prior to doing the MMA. And it's like the amount of people that were involved, it was still quite close knit in that. Now you've got people who were like fucking 9 years old back then. They were starting out. Like they're now fucking 20 odd years old. You'd go in the gym with them and you'd be like, oh, remember you lads, you were 9. Still thinking of them as if they're 9, and they'd have you fucking twisted up everywhere if you fucking got them. Like, they just fucking turn you inside out. Like I seen Clark's kid on fucking Facebook. He's like fucking 6'9" or something. That's like fucking huge.
Yeah. I remember Joe, Clark's lad, Joe. I remember when I hadn't been to the gym for a while, and then I come back, and he'd had a growth spurt then. And I think he was, because he was always a nice kid. He was always quiet, wasn't he? Always quite decent. Remember, right, Joe? Yeah. But he was a nice kid, and I remember thinking to myself earlier on, like them kind of kids where they're quite introvert, but they've done the hardest thing in the world, which is like get involved in a combat sport. Think about fellas when they walk into the gym. Imagine how hard it is when you're a fucking awkward, gangly kid and all that. But them kids always seem to fucking be able to apply themselves more to coaching, I think.
I always found, I did a lot of the kids' classes, lads, and I always found, not Joe was just sort of, his dad did it and that, like, but there were a lot of them there, lads, who, they wouldn't necessarily come out and say they've been bullied, but like you could tell, like maybe they were like the fucking Fonzies or whatever you want to fucking call it in the fucking class. They're not like, you know, some of them would come in with dots and that, some of them would come in, and then you'd see them take the top off to be pale as fuck, but wiry and fucking like sort of Bruce Lee muscle. And then you see them fucking tear it up. They've got a lot of fucking angst going on. And you're like, fucking wouldn't want to be the fucking guy in class who decides to fucking after like 8+ weeks, once they got a few months under them and that, and they can fucking punch straight. You know, I wouldn't want to be the fucking guy because they're fucking like that. You know what,
with these people, they don't have the mindset where it's like, I'm going to get good at this and then I'm going to fuck up the bullies. They don't have that because they're nice people.
They just want to protect themselves, I think.
I think
they just want to be able to just not have to sit there and just say nothing. I think they just want to protect themselves, because none of them I met, if I had the force, like I was teaching a kid, and they'd be like, right, I'm gonna go out and fucking cut this guy's fucking eye up with a few elbows. I'd be like, go sit on the fucking side, lad, until you've got your fucking head screwed on. I wouldn't, like, you know, I remember my sister came in, and like I was saying, be the bully. I wasn't saying be a bully, but it was like sort of a lot of them when they were sparring, there was 3 minutes of standing and sort of I'm like, if you're in there, you've got to have that mindset that I'm the bully, I'm setting the pace, I'm putting it on you. So for me, that was, and I always had to like explain that, be the bully, not a bully. You know what I mean? You've got to be controlling the pace and the fucking flow to whatever suits you. Whether you want to close them down, put them against the cage or whatever, that's you. Whether you want to play counter or whatever, control the fucking thing, be the bully, be in control of it.
Yeah, would you lead? It's like leading the dance, isn't it? You know what I mean? That reference.
That's probably a better fucking analogy. That lead the dance.
It's like leading the dance, isn't it? Or letting somebody like march your drum. Same thing. But we were talking about this yesterday in the gym. Actually, and we were talking about the stuff that you'll learn fundamentally, that you'll learn no matter what the combat sport or martial arts is. That is just, you're going to learn it in any gym you go to. But then the stuff that is between the classes that you pick up like through experience, and one of them is rhythm and breaking up rhythm. So for example, I'll mess around with rhythm a lot, and you find that like I always compare it to like a snake charmer. So if you're, for example, if you're grappling and your hand fighting slow and stuff like that, people will go with your rhythm and they'll go slow. So then when you break that and go 100%, you're a beat ahead of them already. And it's the same with sparring. You know, if you touch, people start, the snake charmer effect works. They start touching until you parry and fucking throw one over the top. So people go with what you put out there, won't they? But it's having that confidence to have that dominance and be like, right, we both want to lead the dance here, but I'm gonna snake charm you into fucking going with my rhythm until I want to break that, and then I'm ahead.
Yeah.
That makes.
I was training for a while with Paul McBride or a Cowbone. I was training for him with him for a while, and that lad, for a fucking middleweight lad, he's like, I mean, probably like the height of a middleweight lad, but he's just as strong as fucking any fucking heavy out there, lad. Fucking ridiculous. But he was always at that fucking nature, and he was always sort of like just nice and slow, nice and slow. And when he'd shoot into you, lad, he'd push your hips fucking 4 yards, but it'd be like getting hit by a car, and it'd just always be just that nice and slow, 100% shoot in. He'd have you fucking, what should be like a single leg for him or something, he'd double leg you because it's just like that split second explosion. Lad, he was always about that nice and slow, maybe pick it up a bit, fall back slow, keep them guessing, and then just bang, just straight through him and fucking. I used to love that sort of idea of it, but I tell you, it was not so much rhythm. I mean, like when we used to train, remember Dave Clark's brother-in-law? I can't think of his fucking second name.
Yeah, I know you mean, yeah.
He was always the best for me. Like, didn't need to train with him for that long. But his technique and the way he used to always work on stuff was always just, it was like mechanical, lad. It's like just flow through, you know, like easiest things I picked up from him, I still use now. Like just peeling guards and shooting under the underarm and stuff like that. Whereas I've been to other people and like maybe someone more your size and build, but they'll be showing me fucking flying arm bars and shit. And they'll be like, where you're talking about rhythm, they'll be like, you're against the fence, yeah. Now you want to do this. And like for me, rhythm's a bit more like, all right, I'm standing, I might want to peel that and shoot under, maybe try and take their back from. I think with rhythm sometimes is more about like who you're training. Because if you've got a mixed class with different sizes, some people are slow and heavy, some people are fucking tall, long, whatever. I think the rhythm thing sometimes is as well more applied to what it is you're going to concentrate on when you're in there, lad. Because I mean, like I always used to remember it, like we'd be doing like the fucking jits and that, and they'd be showing these mad things, like fucking, for me, butterfly guards hard because I'm just so fucking big and fucking bulky, lad. Never mind throwing some of these fucking crazy things where you got to be flexible as fuck. And some of that's on me because I should be more flexible, like. But when it comes to rhythm and stuff like that, like I always found Dave was just perfect for me. Like, I'm sorry I didn't train with him a little bit more, like, to be fair. But
with when you're saying about training partners as well, then like we've all either been like this or have seen elements of this in other people, and I'll be honest, in myself, for me, where it's like I'm going to go in and pick the toughest rounds in the room. I'm going to make sure every round's the fucking hardest round. And this has become a fucking cliche again nowadays. That like I think it's pretty common knowledge that people like that isn't the best way for self-development. That is not the best way. The best way is to have the neutral, positive, and minus outlook, isn't it? So what you'll have is you'll go in and it might be a training session, it might be one day, or it might be 1 week, or it might be over the course of the month where you're like, I'm going to put heavy rounds in week 2 and 3 and taper off in 4, and I've have me way with someone in week 1. And what I mean is, so if you go against somebody who's neutral, so each round is a back and forth, you're going to get caught there back and forth, and it's heavy, and you'll have a fucking big hug at the end of it because you've been through something together, and you're like, fucking heavy, that is, I haven't got many more of them in me today. Then you have the rounds where it's survival. Like when I go with Kev Corkle that I mentioned before, that is fucking survival. Like Kev wants to turn it on. That's survival. It's just how long before he gets me here, how long before he fucking does what he wants. And that's all it is. So my win is survival in that round. And then you have the other rounds where you'll get your cool shit going. You know what I mean? Where it might be someone who's a little less experienced, but they know enough that they're going to move in the right way and that they're not just going to go fucking wacky. And you'll get to practice the stuff that if you try to practice that with someone who's on a similar experience level, you're going to get smoked. You know what I mean? If I do things now, they tend to be like with guys that are like similar fucking experience. If I try and do anything like I've been messing around with like not getting too into it, like a few bits like K-guard and a few other bits that come off that. And if I try and do that at this moment, because it's new technique to me, it's not something that I practice all the time. If I try and do that with like some of the fucking brown belts in the gym, then the margin of error is only like that. So I will make that margin of error and spend the rest of the round in survival mode, getting fucking smoked. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to have these rounds where you have the neutral, the positive, and the minus. You know what I mean?
You know what I always love though, lads? I've had this mate who's like fucking been smashing it. You know him, but I'm not going to mention his name, like, just because of the story. And I was like, don't want to fucking spar with him. Don't want to spar with him. He come down to me and that, like, I know you're fucking psycho and all that. Like, don't want to fucking spar with him. And I like built it up in my head that much. I think I was in a bit of survival mode. Minute in, fucking tore him up. And I was like, well done, lad. Well done. Yeah. Come back the next time. And I thought, nah, it was just lucky, lad. It was just lucky, like, he's one of them lads. I know he'll be like, I don't fucking skip until 5 in the morning. Just fucking on the wall with darts in it. And I was like, fuck, did it again. And like, give me a bit of a boost in that, but I was going in there expecting just that survival. Just like, and I think that was building that up in my head was sort of like, what fucking give me like enough to do it? Because I think technically he's better than me. I mean, I think that's not even something. If you knew what I was talking about, you'd probably say, yeah, technically better than you. I think maybe like a size difference might have been a bit of it as well, like for me. But like, it was just, I think as well, he'd just been in my head that much. I was just like ready.
What you're saying about there is you went into there with like a heightened sense of alertness, haven't you? Because you've been in this survival mode. So it goes back to fight or flight. So you can go into there and be pure survival where it's like, as long as I clam up and don't do anything to anyone, no one can do nothing to me. So that's the one way to look at it. The other way is, and this is all subconscious, and the other way is where, like you've just said there, you've got that heightened sense of it. You know, sometimes when you're just fucking on and you're just on, and it's like you're seeing things, you've got a clarity of fucking mind because your adrenaline is at the right levels, not too much. And
not over arousal, it's like just the right level and that, like.
Yeah, and you're just super fucking aware and in the zone and in the moment, whatever you want to call it. But like that's what it sounds like you're describing there, where you have this.
I was just like, just go forward, do your thing, don't fucking worry about it, because if he is going to take it off, if you're getting tuned up, at least go for it, like, you know what I mean?
Imagine you could just have that in a fucking bottle or a capsule or
24/7.
pre-workout where you just go, exactly, fucking hell. Definitely a lot of them about, isn't even on them fucking special pre-workouts.
Yeah,
but let me ask you about this anyway. Fucking talking shit about fucking fighting and that. But while we're talking about that, right? And given we mentioned about age before, what age do you think, this is obviously conversations that you have before and after training, and especially as you get older? Like I've had a few people who've said to me, not because of me having any kind of muscular stats or anything, but like, what are you having? Like, it's commonplace. Like, what are you on at the moment? You're having anything like fucking fish oil and some aminos, and like, no, what are you on? Like, what are you having? Yeah. So, what age do you think, like the benefits for somebody that's like wanting to live an athletic lifestyle? And it's not because I'm asking for advice or anything like that before fucking anyone thinks like I want to turn into a big juice bomb. But what age do you think like you get to? Do you know what I mean? Because like there's people who, when you speak to them, they're like, "Oh no, I think like your testosterone depletes after the age of 25 to 28, and you should start supplementing from then." There's people who think like as soon as you get into your 40s, 50s, and there's people who think like if it's not broke, this is me, by the way. At the moment,
I think, lad, honestly, it depends on who it is. I think if it's someone like you, and you went in and you wanted to start training to get big, you'd have that muscle memory and you've been training that long. Yeah. But I get people who are like fucking Joe Donut down the fucking street. Yeah, I'm thinking about putting some size on. What you reckon I do? What protein should I get? You know, what should I do bench? You know, and it's like, you know, do you do UFC? And you're like, you haven't got a fucking clue. You've never done it before. You're 38. I think you should go for a brisk fucking walk and forget about getting big anytime fucking soon.
Let me just interrupt a sec there, Neil. Sorry. So what I mean is, so if you because a lot of the times when you're around like gyms, it's common, you know what I mean? Anyone that's like fucking living some kind of athletic lifestyle, it runs basically parallel, doesn't it? Supplements, whether they're legal supplements or otherwise. So I'm saying, at what age do you think, and I know it's specific, does the benefits sort of come into it a bit more? So what I mean is, if like you're somebody in the 60s and you're training and you're waking up and you've got a bad back and you're struggling, you do a day on the mat or you do a day in the ring and then it takes you a week to recover, at what age do you reckon it's like,
outweigh the negatives? Do you mean like, I think personally, it depends on your fucking how honest you are with yourself. Like I said, I've just took 2 days off. That's 2 days, really. If I was 20 odd, would be a good 2 days because it's 2 days recovery because I've been hitting it hard. The fact that I'm 38 is the reason I'm doing it, because I'm now like, be honest, lad, you're gonna fucking end up just, you're not. If I'd have gone in the gym, my muscles aren't recovering as quick. So like, if I want to go through like the fucking 50s on the fucking bench on the dumbbells, I'm not lifting them after fucking having just done fucking shoulders a day ago. I'm 38 now. It's not like when I was fucking 20 odd and I could just go in and go, nah, that's sound. Let's just throw another fucking this and that and the other on it. I'm not able to do it as quickly. So I'm just sort of, you know what? I was doing it twice a day then. Whereas I only need 1 day a week to make gains on chest. And I need 1 day a week on back, 1 day a week on shoulders. If I could squeeze another one in and do like a fucking, you know, like whatever, if I think I need another chest one, or if I need to just do a day where I'm just going in and hitting a body circuit where I'm hitting everything, you know, that's sound. But where I was doing 2 or 3 times a fucking day, like I was training, especially if I was running to before work, then I'd go in like a weight circuit and we break in dinner and fucking work. And then I'd be after, then I'd teach a lesson, then I'd do another hour because I thought I hadn't got enough. Like that was 20s, early 30s. That's overtraining, if anything, lad. Now I'm just sort of like, get that hour in the day. If I need a day off, take the day. And I think you can still get your gains as long as, like I just said, my diet's not the best. But I've had times where I've been 18.5 stone with a 6-pack. You know, I've been able to cut down when I need to. And then often going on a holiday or I'm going to have to cut weight for something, like I don't really compete anymore. I know I can do that, you know, but now I just sort of live by, you know, you've had that kind of Coke, drink a litre of water, don't have another one till tomorrow at earliest, and just make sure you're moving more and eating less, you know what I mean? Keep it fucking tight.
Have a bit of balance. The reason I asked that is because, like, I know where I think it becomes commonplace when it's sort of.
Half of them just get on the juice. Half of them just at this age, lad, they get on the fucking juice. Because like you said, your test crashes around 32, lad. You still got it, but you've got like that much compared to that much what you used to have, lad. They're on the juice, and they'll say to your face, they're fucking done. They all are.
Here's the thing, right? So I know guys that are in the 20s that don't cycle off anything, and this is like combat sports athletes like this. This isn't bodybuilders, so this is lads that are getting in, they're training, they're fighting, they're competing, and they're fucking not cycling off. They're staying on, and then they get to the point where they're scared to come off because they don't want the depletion in the testosterone, everything that goes with the head and the pressing. Somebody was saying to me, like, if you're not fucking taking anything to keep up with your training and competing and let's have it right, let's fucking maintain a good body, then when are you going to fucking do that? And is what I think about it, right? I think as you know, my receptor right now is sound, right? In my early 20s, I never knew anything about combat sports. I used to fucking do split routine. I used to fucking lift all the weights in the world and do one body part a day. I used to fucking eat as much food as possible and stick loads of needles in my ass, right? And try and get as big as possible. Now, that was in the early 20s, and that fucked my receptor sites up for years, right? Now that my testosterone is flying in my 40s, the last thing that I ever want to do is go near any kind of anabolic or androgenic fucking steroids, because I think if my testosterone was depleted as much as what I'm led to believe, then I wouldn't feel like training 2 or 3 times a day. I wouldn't feel like my sex drive would be fucking as low as anything. And all of these things. I think
your libido is a big one, lad. Yeah, that fucking goes, lad.
And if it's not broke, Neil, then I'm not going to try and fix it. I may as well leave it like that. Now, if for whatever reason, if I get up one day in my fucking 50s or 60s and I don't want to go to the gym and I don't want to fucking shag and I don't want to do any of these things, then I might look at it then. But for right now, I think, like I said, lad, I know lads in the 20s and that are just fucking religiously, like, for years, they're not cycling off. They're just like, oh, and look, they'll say things like, oh, no, I just have a load up, so just have 1 mil a week, mate. I'm like, well, it doesn't matter, because your fucking testes are not producing testosterone based on that 1 mil of synthetic fucking testosterone. So have 10 mil a week. It doesn't matter. Your body's not doing what it's supposed to.
The thing is, lads, as well, it's the mental fucking aspect of it, because, like, I'm 38 now. Like, my arms are half decent. People still stop me saying big and stuff. Yeah, but the thing is, like, we've all been there in our 20s, fucking, thought it was great. But it's not just like that your fucking test is down, and that does affect your fucking depression because of the fucking
it does, 100%.
Fucking levels of your fucking. But at one point, you've got to accept you're never going to be that big again. Yeah. You're gonna, like, me mate used to call it bigorexia. He says he gets bigorexia when he comes off it, and then he's just like, and he's still a big lad. He's still looking at him, but he still sees it in the mirror the same as an anorexic sees. They're still fat when they're blatantly not, and it's that fucking thing. It's not so much as, I can't go in and lift the same and this, that, and the other. That's always going to happen when you get older. But it's the fact that you've had it in your head for so long that you're the biggest cunt in the room, and you've got to suddenly accept it, And I think that's the main thing you've got to work for. It's one thing thinking about how am I going to work it on the fucking physical level and how am I going to get myself back in the gym. Are you going to look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
When you go down the pub and that kid that used to, like, shake your hand and ask you your name and who you are now looks at you and thinks he can bingo you, how are you going to deal with that?
But you know what? This comes back down to ego, and male ego especially, right? And we've all got it. And if you're involved in any kind of fucking athletic endeavours or combat sports or anything else, there's a heightened sense of that. No matter how much everyone takes to the fucking martial arts and everything, we've all got a fucking ego. And here's a good example of it, right? So I've been doing more coaching than what I have done in the past recently, and I was lucky enough to get my own coaching job in a gym. Just carte blanche, do what you want. We'll pay you a wage for it. You don't have to worry about whether there's one person in or 100 people in. You'll get your wage. So it was fantastic. And I'd see people come in, and I always have this analogy, the helicopter pilot analogy, right, where fellas will come in, and I'll say to you, it tends to be a certain type of person, you know what I mean? They might come in, they might have a certain size, they might carry themselves a certain way, they might give off something. And we've all been there, and I've been that guy, and I'll say to them, I'll go, would you get in a helicopter and try and fly it? No, you wouldn't, unless you're a fucking helicopter pilot. So if that's the case, you wouldn't do it without any kind of formal training. Why is that? Every man, including myself, at some point, feels that they have got some kind of fighting prowess. Why is that without any kind of formal training? Now, I'm not saying that athletic ability
I
and
think it's not ego, lad. It's just bullshit. It's trying to look fucking hard, lad.
This is why fellas are fucking hard to coach. Give us a young, unassuming fucking kid or a female to coach any day of the week over a fucking fella like myself when I was younger, because they're a fucking headache and they know everything and they know it better than you and they want to fucking kill everyone in the room, and they'll either hurt someone when they come in or get hurt themselves because the fucking ego. It's a mad thing, you know.
It's like, it's when they start telling you what you want to do is, like, lad, you just come in and fucking paid me. Don't even think you're talking. You nod and do as I fucking say. That's it. Shut the fuck up and fucking do what I say. Stop telling me what you think we should be doing. Otherwise, you can go eat your own fucking gym and fucking do it yourself, lad. No one wants to fucking hear from you. Just shut up.
What's funny? I done it. John Smith, ASW black belt. He's my good mate, and he's done it.
I'm just plugging this in, lad, before it goes off.
No worries. I'll just keep going, yeah.
Yeah, go, lad, go. Morning, Chester, they're looking at my belly.
Me and John were talking about this on a podcast we used to do. We were talking about like the person who's like off-putting for a new guy when they come in the gym. You know, when somebody comes in new, like, and I was saying, I think the worst fucking person, the worst round to put them with is like a young male in his 20s that's been training about 8 months. Because after like 8 months, you've got the perfect balance of not having a fucking clue, but thinking you have, and you have a little bit, haven't you? Like after 8 months of training, if someone comes in off the street, they can fucking handle them. Like they think in their head has happened to them. So you put a new guy with somebody like that. That's why it's always better to put them with like somebody that's been at it a while. Nobody's going to get hit. They haven't got no to prove.
Yeah,
but if you get this young lad who's been fucking getting his ass handed to him for the last 6 months, 8 months, and you put a brand new guy off the street with him, he's gonna fucking hurt him, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Every time, lad. Every time. I've talked about examples of that. There was we had one guy who's a mate of mine who's big, been on the juice, like you say, and all that. And he used to do the Krav Maga and that. And like, respect for Krav Maga and that, but I think Krav Maga is more if you're a fucking soldier, like fucking Spetsnaz or something, you've got training in fucking confrontational situations and that, great. Because it's all situational and that, you know what I mean? They may do some sort of sparring, but you've got to have a bit about yourself to take that on and use it in real life. Put them in sparring with some kid who's got 12 months MMA and he's up against the wall getting punched in by some fat 18-year-old. And I'm just like, you know.
I don't think, honestly, this is the thing, isn't it, with these like real reality martial arts or whatever, and Krav Maga and all this. Like, I think it was Rogan. Rogan was like, do the shit that we know works on people who know what they're doing. Do that. Get good at that. Get good at a fucking straight right or left, if you mean southpaw. Get good at fucking doing something like that. Get good at fucking blasting through someone with a double leg. Get good at doing something that no works. They don't get good at getting intricate fucking wrist locks and fucking pressure points and eye gouges. I know I'm hijacking your point here, Neil, but let me tell you this then quick. I was with Adam Hodgson again, and we were training. It was like a chain gym, but they used to have like fucking. We were doing bits. Me and Adam would meet up like every couple of months, and he's just sick wrestling. So he'd give me bits of wrestling. I'd give him bits of fucking jiu-jitsu, and we'd pair off and we'd do that. And we were going through our rounds in the cage, and he was a lad fucking watching us, right? And like, I've got a bit more patience than Adam, I'd like to think. And he comes over and there's me a couple of steps behind him. He comes over and he's like, see that stuff that he's doing then? Like, this is why it wouldn't work. He come out, like, just straight away, comes out with it like that.
This is why it wouldn't work.
I thought it was a wind-up. Like, I thought someone fucking said...
Saying that to Adam, he was like, he was ranked like fucking face.
Adam like
fucking wrestling.
Yeah, there was just stood there with fucking ears out, yeah. So he's like, fucking, yeah, it wouldn't work. And anyway, this lad, I'm not joking, right? This lad turns around and goes, I do ninjutsu, right? Funnily enough, I was like, where do you do your fucking ninjutsu? Go on, like, can you fucking, like, go invisible and all that, can you? And he was like, no, he went, I'm doing it brutal, right? So he's trained to be a fucking ninja and brutal, right? So, and inevitably this ends with them getting in the fucking cage. They had like a little cage and stuff upstairs. And he's like, let's do a round, right? And I couldn't believe, I was like, this is fucking mental, this. I was like half shocked. I was looking around thinking, if anyone sees this, it's weird. So he gets in, and obviously the fucking minute, yeah, one fucking he's about to strangle this fucking ninja fella. And he's like half chucking in front of his mate, and he goes, that's like good what you were doing there, but see the way when you had that Kimura on me, so we knew the terminology. He was like, see when you had that Kimura, we just ripped the arm off, we just break the arm, and like when you were choking me with the rear naked choke, like if I was allowed to do what I could do, I'd gouge your eyes out, right? So he's like going on like this, and then in the end I went, you know what? I went, let's do it again. But all them little bits and bobs, like you said, Dave, you can do them now. You can do them, and let's see how it fucking pans out. So he's like, okay. So we do another round, and this fucking lad is like trying to put his thumb in my eye and all that, but obviously I'm fucking like this, just and he's fucking like, you're like, and then he's like tapping going to go. I was like, fucking hell, and I get sort of after, I was like, what did you think was like going to happen in that day? And he got off half embarrassed, but this come from a false sense of security. Like he's literally training something and being told, if someone does this, or if that happens, then this is what you can do, and it'll work. And it won't, because at some point, you might get someone that has had a bit of formal training, something that works, but then an arsehole as well. You might get a complete dickhead. You know what I mean?
So many times on it, lad. I remember, like, I was embarrassed because when the lads come down from work, and in the gym, like, we got this fucking karate guy in, and it was one of them doing one of them exhibitions, and everybody seemed to know who the fuck he was. I'd never heard of him, but I wasn't really into like competition karate or nothing. He was an old dude, like seemed to like know he could throw a few kicks and all that, but he was doing self-defense with rubber knives and all that. And if the knife comes towards you, stop it like this. And like, who's stabbing you? You're having a wanking a fucking elephant. I mean, they come behind you. Hit your fucking liver and kidneys out. No one's stabbing you like that. And even if they are, you're not stopping it with your arms like that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm not putting my arms anywhere near you if you've got a fucking knife in your hand.
I'll throw a fucking chair at you. The most I'll do is keep you at a distance.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm not a fucking chance. I'm fucking legging it. Like the most I think I'd do in a situation is maybe a little teep, just like my foot out as far away and all my organs as far away as possible. Because
I'm a boring bastard, right? I don't go anywhere. So most of the conversations I start is, we were talking about this in the gym, right? So again, we were talking about this just yesterday in the gym, except for tomorrow. I'm going out tomorrow actually, go for a meal. But anyway, we were talking about this in the gym, and I walked in the changing and someone went, do you ever come across that, like fucking people like picking fights and stuff like that? One of the younger lads it was. I was like, no, because I think the two main things is the company you keep and the places you frequent. I said, and I don't fucking, like all the dickheads have filtered out of my life at this point, Neil, which they should be at 42, really. If you're hanging around with wankers at 42, there's a common denominator, you're a fucking wanker yourself. So all the fucking dickheads are going on in my life, and I don't frequent places where dickheads tend to frequent. So that cuts out 99% of the chance. And then I think like the other 1%, if anything's going to happen, then it's either down to pure fucking bad luck, or somebody's somewhere where they shouldn't be. Either you're somewhere where you shouldn't be, or this fucking lunatic is. But if somebody, if fucking knives and things like that are getting pulled out, I think like you fucked up somewhere along the line. Or just bail, just get out. Certainly don't try, what did he say? Like fucking do some weird cross block with your
hands. If you're stabbing like that, he wanted you to like put your arms like that, so it come up in the middle, and then sort of do a busy lock. And I was like, nah.
I'm not doing that. No.
Fucking stabbing you like that, when he's stabbing you like the chin, it's just fucking weird.
This is because that has never arose in real life, so they've constantly done it and drilled it like a mantra, like a brainwashing mantra, bang bang bang, and next thing they think that is like 100% true, and it works.
But the thing is, like, some kid's gonna walk out of that fucking thing not after saying critical thinking as someone like me, who's maybe done a bit. Oh shit, the thing, who's done a bit, and then they're going to go out and next time they're in a fucking situation, and knife crime's a serious fucking thing nowadays, especially in Liverpool, lad. And like, they're going to fucking go and think I can fucking handle this situation, when really they should be giving it fucking toes, like fucking quick sharp away from that fucking situation, lad.
That's why I'm saying that it's not only irresponsible, right? It creates this false sense of fucking security.
It's negligent, lad. It's negligent.
And that's why it's twofold. That's why it's good to get good at something that fucking actually works. Because what happens when you start doing like combat sports that fucking work is that it doesn't make you think, oh, I'm fucking invincible. You start getting your head punched in and strangled by people that you didn't ever think, because we've all got this ego, that would be able to do that. So then when you've been doing it for a while, you start developing this sort of sense of, I don't want to get in any shit. So you keep yourself out of that. It's a self-preservation thing. So that's what happens. Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb. I haven't been to any of these fucking crazy, any Krav Maga, nothing like that. But I'd imagine that the people that go to them are, for the most part, come out of there after a while and feel that they carry this thing. If anything happens to me, I can do this. Now, I don't. I have the opposite of that. I think to myself, if I got into a fucking altercation, like touch wood, if that did, then I know what people can do to me, because I see people hand me ass to me on a daily basis. So I don't want to get into that.
To be fair, that lad, he had a purple belt in it from up at Vauxhall. And to be fair, he knows a bit, and he like does. And I can imagine in some situations it's useful when you get to that sort of level. But he come in and like, he's sort of a mate of mine, so we would just touch sparring and all that. But we had the one up by Stewart Road in Crosby, which just had the roof tiles in and that.
Yeah.
Put him in a fucking Uchimata, hip tossed and took the fucking roof tiles off and all that. He's like fucking 6'3" like me. Put him on the deck and that, like, and he wasn't having any. He just sort of went like, "You're right. It's all situational." Yeah. And like, if the guy's got a bit about him, he went, "Nah, I'm not doing nothing." And then he just started training. And he was in there sparring every day, fucking wanting to do something different and that. And like, he still goes back there from when I speak to him and that. Because he said, there are bits I want to pick up on that, and I do like it. And you know, if I combine the two, then yeah. Which was always my original point. If like, that used to be a fucking martial arts system for soldiers who've got a bit about them. They've either done a bit of fucking boxing or whatever through the army, or been taught by people how to do, you know, close quarters combat. So it's an additional thing to something they already know. I could imagine if you went and took like Max Holloway, put him in fucking Krav Maga, that'd be a nice addition to something on top. But it's not something you should start out doing, because if you've got nothing about you and you go in and start doing all that, I just don't think it's the right time to. I think it should always be an additional thing, not like you start on point.
So yeah, so years ago, I mean, I used to work in town years ago.
You were on the Modo, weren't you?
Yeah, so in a busy fucking part of town, I was in Concert Square, and like amongst other places, but mainly Modo. And excuse me, the lads, like, never mind the fucking punches, the lads that I'd work with, the amount of shit that I seen happening, and this is like people that are put there to fucking stop things happening. Like, and for the most part, I think it's a bit different these days, but for the most part, there was loads of them that initiate something and fucking like cultivate some kind of fucking like altercation, and then couldn't do anything about it once we did. I seen I worked with these fucking lads, like say 3 or 4 big fucking anti-strapping lads, and this little wiry fella, like little fucking wiry Scouse lad, and he called me that he'd done something. I think he put his hand up a bird's fucking dress or something like that, and he fucking dragged him out. And then as he's going out, he's like jovial. He's like, "I'm not laughing. Oh, it's a fair cop," like fucking sound. And then as he's going out, this lad walks past him, who's working on the door, and just goes fuck off and sparks him. And he goes off like a 10-bob rocket, as they say. He's fucking going nuts on that front at everyone then. Anyway, long story short, they drag him out, and they've all got a leg and a wing each. They've got fucking, one's got his arm, one's got his arm, one's got his leg, and they're all fucking trying to restrain him, and this fucking cunt's giving it to them any way he can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Out of pure tenacity. Anyway, fucking fast forward about like half an hour later, and this same lad has sneaked back into the bar, yeah, right? And he comes down the stairs, and I seen him. I went, "Oh, no way." I went, "It's you." I went, "Come on, fucking back." And he's like, "All right, sound." And he's like, you know what I mean? He's like that. Started beating with it, you know what I mean? I was on his side, but I couldn't say nothing. So like, I'm walking up the stairs with him like that, frog marching around like that. I'm fucking, like I said, I'm not the biggest guy. Walking up the stairs, and again, this fucking dickhead walks past him and goes, and fucking kicks it off. Goes to fucking punching the lad, moves, sparks him. and then it goes off again. So fucking end up getting the lad outside. And bear in mind, he's just been getting fucking like all these big gorillas jumping on him. And I just put him down, just a little inside strip, fucking didn't hurt him, and put him down inside strip and fucking went knee on belly, and he's struggling for a little bit. And then I'm like, lad, just fucking calm down, like bail in a minute, you know what I mean? You're going nuts here.
Yeah.
And he sort of looked at me and was like, oh, yeah, sound fair enough, and then fucking got up and just went on his way. But the point for me, I'm not saying it because like fucking look at me, I'm saying it because these lads that have fucking like escalated a massive situation, then haven't known what the fuck to do with it. And then like I've sort of tried to be a bit nice with them and fucking used a little bit of a neon belly fucking pin and being able to manage the situation a bit better. But I think like when people either have false sense of security through having a certain job title or through fucking doing a certain combat sport or martial art that, you know, is not proven, let's be honest, then they feel like they're chomping at the bit to get something going. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I had exactly that, lad. I had exactly that and some fucking boozer in Crosby, some fucking bouncer. My ex had been fucking a bit of a fucking dickhead and that. And like, the lad she was fucking having it with, I sort of half knew him, so I was like, just don't worry about it, lad, just fucking get away and just fucking leave it. Dead calm and that, like, I'd only been in there for a bit, I'd only had a few beers, so I wasn't like fucking... And bouncer was sort of like, two of the other bouncers knew me. And like knew people I knew and stuff like that, not going into all that, but and like they were being sound and this fat bouncer's going, I'm not a screen, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, oh, not asked, lad. I've just said to you, I've just told Dave to calm down, and I've just told him, don't worry about it, just give us a bit of fucking space and that. And then he was like, as it was shutting down, he was going, you come over here into the fucking, like, they've got like the fire doors open and that. And I'm like, I'm not going over there, lad. I'm not going over there. And I'm like, you want to do something, do it now. And he was like, I'll fucking kick you. And I'm like, do it then. Do it. Well, your two fucking mates aren't going to do nothing because they know my mates. I'm like, they're not doing nothing. You're from not a screen, you're not from around here. Go and fucking do it, lad. And he was like, I'm like, you're just fucking shouting. I'm going to tell you what, I'll be upstairs in a minute because I'm leaving. Come get me. I'm not going nowhere. Fucking just blah, 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 blah. Walked into the fucking gym for a fucking lesson, didn't he? Fucking lad, put his head. Fucking, like, just fucking torn him to fucking bits, lad. Fucking got him in sparring, I was just straight on him. Pinged him the fuck everywhere. And he was one of these fat cunts, just all because he was a bit fucking big and that. Just fucking levered him, lad. And like fucking, like I've got quite a nice little tight inside shovel look. And I just worked it, pinged him everywhere. And I just thought, you know what, you cheeky bastards, you were a fucking bully. You were a fucking bully. Yeah. I was being dead sound. I was staying back like, not asked. And you insisted on trying to drag me into an alley. Sound. Just no worries. Yeah,
it's posturing it's called, isn't it? It's posturing it's called. It's like when it's when somebody is
peacocking.
Yeah, peacocking, yeah. It's when peacocking or posturing. When they've made loud noises for so long and it's warranted a certain reaction out of most people. So they continue doing that. And then what it does to them inside is it builds up this massive insecurity where they know deep down, I've only had the right to make loud noises, and that's a lot. And then what happens when it doesn't? So it builds it up worse and worse and worse for them. So, you know.
I think with me as well, like it might sound me telling a story like I'm peacocking myself, but I've been beat up that many fucking times, lad. I've just, like you said before with the ego, you still have that certain amount of ego, haven't you? Where you're arguing the situation. But I know I've been beaten up X amount of times, it's just another time. You know, if it happens again, it happens again. You know, what the fuck?
Yeah, but you tend to, because you know that, you tend to sort of be, I think you carry yourself, most of the lads that we know, Neill, tend to fucking carry themselves half alright. There's a few fucking hotheads in that, but most lads that I know in me sort of fucking little social circle now, tend to fucking be normal lads, you know what I mean? They're all right now. They're
all capable of just like that. They're capable of like that, like, but I think especially when you get to our age group, it's not so much anymore, is it?
I done it, it's funny you saying that, right? I remember, you just jogged me memory. I remember being at Grapple Fest, and I think it was the second one. I'll for the story, because I won the second one, I'll tell it as the second one. So it was the second event that they done. And I was in the changes in the bar upstairs and that fusion or envy, if it was envy back then.
Fusion won it,
yeah, and I looked through, there's a big mirror behind the bar, and like I was ordering whatever it was to drink, And I looked through the mirror, and behind me was like the fucking who's who of like the Northwest combat sport, you know what I mean? So everyone from all the gym, like fucking Tan and Rim and all that, and then all the fighters and Paddy and fucking Ellis and all that. You got all these fucking top fights. I'm looking behind me, and everyone's just there in like the civvies and just fucking just having bevies and stuff. And I took a picture of it and I posted it, and I was like, what a mad mindset to go out with if only you knew. Because there's people who would be in an environment like that, maybe not that many fucking fighters, and want to fucking pick a fight with somebody, but you don't know. But if only you did know, like if someone walked into that room, unbeknownst to them, like any one of these people is a fucking sane killer, do you know what I mean? I think you should always, I'm not saying go out and be terrified of everyone, but go out and just have a little inkling in the back of your mind.
You should know, lads. You should have a good idea that, like, fucking, you don't know who you're talking to. You just don't.
That in the back of your mind. I'm going to have a good night tonight, and if somebody does fucking knock me drink or whatever, then it's not the end of the world. But it's when you involve alcohol, and that's fucking, you know, it causes the fucking worst fucking breakups and family and everything, and obviously all the fucking trouble and murder and everything else. Everyone always draws a comparison with weed, don't they? But I think it's just a fucking entity into itself.
Yeah, mate, I mean, to be honest with you, like, I've knocked it on the head massively compared to like my late 20s, early 30s. Like, used to fucking love it. I'd go out at least a couple of times a week or whatever. Now, mate, I had a few drinks the other night, lads, and it's only like this morning I started feeling normal again, lad. And I was only out for like maybe 6 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That 6 hours for me now is like, wow. Like, fucking just impacts my whole body. My liver must take a while to process it after my fucking 20s and that. Just like, it sound old, lad. I sound like a fucking dad. I am a dad. But like, it's at that point now. Like, so thinking of myself like I'm 18, you know what I mean? And it's, you just fucking not. Fully enough, I was 18 fucking years ago.
Madness, innit? But like I mentioned to you earlier on, like that's why I've chose to abstain from everything. Because at one point I was drinking all the time. Drinking, I'm gonna say all the time, I mean every fucking night. Not social drinking, not like going for a fucking pint after work. I mean like putting a bottle of wine away and smoking weed every night. And doesn't matter what I was trying to manage, like that become my coping mechanism then for life. You know what I mean? So that's all I was doing. And aside from impulsive and rash decision making that it does to certain people on nights out, like we mentioned, and fucking, you know, people are getting over aggressive. There's the other side to it. I mean, it's a depression. It's a depressant, isn't it? So when you couple and like drink it, like habitual fucking drinking every fucking single night with cannabis, which to be honest, this is an addict's mentality. I'm talking about training 3 times a day and 2 times a day. That's not what a normal person does. Not what an active person does. It's when somebody adopts a certain mentality, and because of how I've been brought up and nature and nurture, I've ended up being a fucking addict. So like that can be channeled through positive things or negative things. And for most of my life, it was negative things. So once we had fucking lockdowns and things like that had a major effect on me. I had like my closest cousin, family member who fucking hung himself. Matt, my good mate and my Thai coach, he fucking hung himself. Matt and Joe Lawler, I don't know whether you remember Joe Lawler or whether you knew of him, but he was my close friend as well. Now we lost Joe, and then the following day, Glenn, my mate and Thai coach, he phoned me up and was like, we fucking lost Matt as well. And then our Thomas went, and then I had mates in the army, and it's everyone's fucking it got to the point, right, Neill,
I can name 3 people off the top of my head now that I know have all hung themselves.
You know what I mean? And it's all men, isn't it? It's all.
I'm talking in like the last few years as well.
And is it all males?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So that's proving more to me point, right? So it was getting to that point. It was getting to that point where I was getting messages like, is everything okay? Are you okay? Like people were fucking, I'll say, yeah, people were fucking concerned about me. And then I was amplifying that by fucking drinking and isolating myself and getting worse and worse and worse. And then like the training was taking a bit of a hit. Work and my kids was the last thing that didn't get affected. But in hindsight, it probably did have an effect. Do you know what I mean?
It's
So
at the time, innit?
yeah, so I chose to abstain from fucking everything. And since then, I mean, I used to fucking compete and cut weight and everything and factor into me calories like a bottle of fucking wine the day before I'm weighing. I like, it's mad to think about it now. Do you know what I mean? Like making weight, cutting, sucking down to like 60 odd kilo, but like still bevying with it. And then wondering why I'm getting fucking knocked out. Well, your brain's not fucking hydrated. That's why.
Yeah, like, yeah.
So, like my choice to abstain from everything is the fucking best decision I've ever made, and I think it's the only way for me to fucking move forward. Since then, my relationships have been sweet, my productivity's been fucking sound. I'm off clear mind so much more. I mentioned all the other stuff, the breathwork and yoga and meditation, all of this here as well. My relationships, my patience with the fucking kids, honest to God, lad, it's the best thing I've done. But you know what? It would not have been sustainable in me 20s or even in me fucking 30s, to be honest. It wouldn't have been sustainable. I would have been like,
I'm missing out with friends and that in it though. It's like it's all them temptations around you all the time.
It's that, but for me, it went past that. It went beyond that. So I was doing it isolated, Neil. I was doing it on my own in my place. When I was on my own, I was just like, it wasn't for me to enjoy it or socialize or anything like that. It was for me to just get myself to a certain place where I didn't want to fucking think about who's fucking why are these people fucking killing themselves? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? I'd catastrophize things. I'd fucking make the worst of a bad situation. And my anxiety was through the roof. And it all stems from, like, aside from fucking stuff that happens earlier on in your life, but from me feeding it with alcohol and with cannabis, you know what I mean? That's not good. It's not good for someone with an addictive personality like myself. But like I say, the fucking decision I made to abstain from everything has had so much of a positive effect on everything else in my life, mate. So that's me. I'm good with that. I don't feel like I'm going to go on holiday next month, and I'm not thinking fucking little all-inclusive one in Turkey. I'm not thinking to myself, why I'm going to miss out on fucking having a bevy on holiday. I couldn't care less. I'm going to be more present with my kids. So I'm looking forward to that instead.
I've actually just spoke to someone today who spoke to me. I mean, I won't divulge details. It's fresh for them. They probably will watch this and all that. Like, but they've literally just sort of like confessed to something similar to, like, you know, sort of family and friends and that. And I think like the most important thing is like just having the fucking bollocks to fucking admit it. It's like it's like to fucking, especially like, you know, like you say before with like the ego and that, like. I mean, I say with what we do, like I haven't competed all up in fucking ages, but you've always got that same fucking mindset. The type of person who wants to do that, they're always sort of like, you're in the gym, you do, but you've got that mindset of you can never sort of admit weakness. And it's a weakness to admit that you've got a problem. And I think you don't realise having the bollocks, like what you've just done there, or like the other mate who's just contacted me to say pretty much similar same thing, having the bollocks to fucking do that makes you look 10 times fucking harder than to fucking keep it to yourself and fucking not say nothing and then be left in a position where you've got no other option but to do something like what they end up doing, like fucking taking their lives or whatever, or feeling like they've got no other option. And I think it's like, it's a tough fucking thing. And like, I'm not one of these people like you see Tyson Fury's and that, let's talk about mental health and stuff like that, because I'm one of them. I've got my own fucking problems. I never mention a lot. Very rarely you hear me talk about some of my shit on these podcasts, and I've had people on here, like Greg Jenkins was one of them. He talked about some serious shit, and I had a few other people on here mention it. And usually you see me sort of, I'll back and forth with a few stories, but like, you know, I just feel like having the bollocks to fucking just admit it is like one of the manliest things you can fucking do.
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, it's not. I mean, we touched on it earlier on, right? It's not a coincidence that there's a certain demographic person where this affects, whether it's addiction, suicide, mental health issues. It tends to be more prevalent in a certain type of person, and that person tends to be a young male from an impoverished or working class background. It just fucking is, you know what I mean? But the other thing as well, with me now, it used to be my dirty little secret. Because, like, if anyone fucking did fucking see me drinking or drunk or whatever, it'd be like, fucking hell, apart from, like, the people close to me, like me close-knit family, me man and that, like, it'd be a shock, it'd be a surprise. What do you mean you're fucking saying every day, you're fucking bevying and whatever else? But now it's like a fucking support thing. Like my mates in the gym now, like fucking, I tell people that I used to have these fucking issues. And more importantly, I'm getting the feedback. Like I'm getting feedback about like before, like how much I'm fucking flying with me training, how much I'm progressing with stuff. I'm a better person, my demeanor's better, I'm more talkative, and you know, I'm cognitively fucking performing better as well. So I'm not fucking embarrassed or anything like that about it now. But again, if it would have been in my 30s, because I'm carrying this heart and this fucking ego thing, I would have been shocked. I would have been like, no, I want people to think I've got no problems in the world. Look at my Instagram, it's fucking great. Do you know what I mean? It's not that. It's not that. We're
I
all
think social media is fucking sped. I mean, even if you're not one of doing it, Instagramming and all that. I looked the other day, I go through the videos on Facebook. And if it's not some fucking guy in America talking about fucking racism and that, or it's some fucking guy going on about the fucking Russia-Ukraine or fucking COVID or the conspiracy theories or that, if you're looking to like fucking, I mean, the idea, even though it's a depressant with a drink, is to get away from it and have a bit of a thing. You're watching this shit while you're doing that. It's just constant fucking negativity drilled into your fucking eyeballs and your ears 24/7. Oh, I've got a break in work. Let's go down, sit down, and just fucking negative. Put that off, go back to work. That's like, come on, lad, that's fucking crazy. And I think that fucking well helps it.
Like Neill, with me, right, and I know fucking a lot of people like I'll sound like I'm a fucking idiot, right? Well, fuck it, doesn't matter. Like I live my life blissfully ignorant for the most part, right? I have to get stoned. People have to come and tell me that there's a fucking potential werewolf, right? Because I live my life, unless it affects me or mine directly. I've got 4 beautiful daughters. One's growing up, and the other 3 that are with me Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. Now, unless it affects me or them, or obviously me fucking direct family, then I don't pay any attention because life is hard enough, and my life is fucking extra tough at times. So I don't give any of this squawk box, newspapers, radio, fucking internet. I don't give it any of my time or attention. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you why that's a good fucking thing though. So when we moved to fucking Gran Canaria, lad, it's island life. I mean, I know England's an island, but it's not really. It's a fucking metropolis type fucking thing, innit? I'm talking like, you know, the next town over's got like 4 hotels and a couple of apartment blocks and a fucking beach where they go fucking walk around in the fucking nip. You know, like that's like, if I walk out of my work, I'm looking at fucking 50 birds with fake tits and some fucking guys posing in fucking budgies and that. Like, that's like the topic of conversation. You will get like the English newspapers and that there, but like the most fucking, I remember like once there was a fight and like someone got slapped and this was in a club and it was talked about for about 4 months because it was the biggest fucking thing to happen on the island for fucking ages. And it was like, their little world is good. Every Sunday is family day. They'll sit in the garden playing guitar. It's all nice. You go to the beach, you go to wrestling. And it's like...
strong sense of community,
Well, that's it. And the thing is, the world's only as big as what you can see around you. So why worry what's happening over there? And like, we all saying people might think I'm stupid and that. The whole island fucking works like that, mate. They don't give a shit about America or what's going on over there.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'll just tell you this bit there quick, right? I remember fucking, like, I used to be religious watching Rogan when I used to work. I used to be sat on my ass 12 hours a day in my old job years ago. And I used to fucking just constantly, used to be like loads of people just constantly watching Joe Rogan. But I remember this one thing he was talking about. And it was this little, I don't know, I want to say a little village in Italy where the fucking population was like in the hundreds,
Yeah.
And the average age of the people that lived there was 100. It was 100 years old. And then these people were moving to like, you know, America, Britain, wherever. And then they were dying off at like 60, 70. So they tried to do a correlation. They were like, right, it's obviously down to the Western diet, fast food, McDonald's, whatever else. They figured out it wasn't down to that.
Stress.
And then they were like, yeah, stress. What is it? What the fuck is it? And what they found out is that in this communal village, because it being that small, communism fucking would work, you know what I mean? So in this village, there was such a strong sense of community. No one was skinned by our sense of the words. Nobody ever got sick. Nobody could ever fucking, everybody looked out for each other. And it's this failure to thrive thing that humans have, where Like if a newborn, for example, isn't coddled and kissed and cuddled and stuff, they fucking die because they haven't got connection with another human. That's how important it is. It took 30 years of this fucking these little villages' lives because they're that used to fucking generation, all living together and all banding together. But it's hard. You can't fucking do that when it's like fucking. You can't do that in Liverpool, let alone fucking the country or the world. But it's so important. I think without sounding like a hippie, is I'm saying it's so important to like fucking like be fucking kind and be nice. So, you know what I mean? Be a human to another human.
I mean, I remember going through London. Like, I love London, love going there, love seeing all the shit. But just walking through the fucking station, people look at you like you're a piece of shit.
You never asked anyone
don't even talk to me. Keep away from me. Don't touch me. And it's like, that's not a good fucking environment to be in 24/7. That's your day going to work. You can't even enjoy it because people are looking at you like, are they going to come near me? Like, the difference in the fucking, you know, just like your day-to-day life, lad.
Yeah, like, but it's I've been guilty both ends. Like if someone smiled and said hello, you think, oh, weirdo, who's them? Do I know them? That's your natural instinct. But like it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for fucking people to just try and be a bit fucking nicer to each other. I don't want to have ended up going down this avenue here, but I think what I'm saying is it's nice to be nice.
I always, lad, if I walk past someone and I don't know them, you're all right, mate, or you're all right, love, even if I don't know their fucking name. Sometimes because I keep saying this like I'm fucking huge, I'm not like 6'3", because for like women and stuff as well, and like maybe some smaller lads with chips on their shoulders, if they're walking past, they don't have to worry when you're smiling and you're like, you're all right, mate, you're all right, love. They don't have to walk to the other side of the road. Or maybe it's a couple of lads who are bigger than me, and maybe I'll disarm them by being, you're all right, mate, you know, rather than thinking maybe, oh, this lad's fucking this, that, the other, don't worry about him, rather than just think, let's fucking, you know. I always think it's better to just do that. And like, I'm one of them people that, like, I know every fucker. Like, by the time we got on the fucking island, I knew everyone. Like, fucking within fucking minutes. Like, it's not a big place, like, but I'm just happy to talk to everyone. And like, sometimes when I see people and they're just like, they refuse to do it, I just think like, you're missing out. I don't think like there's a problem with them. I just feel like you're missing out. You know what I mean?
Do you think, right, I'm gonna suggest this, do you think that when because I know what I'm like on holiday as well, do you think when you're in a beautiful, sunny environment, living the fucking dream, do you think it's a bit easier to be like, put a smile on your face and say hello, as opposed to you're a product of your environment, And if
I've always been like that, me though, lads. Like, there was never anyone in the gym I said that I wouldn't talk to. I'm always.
What I mean is that kind of shit goes down a lot better when there's a little bit more time on the clock and there's a bit of sun in the sky than like walking onto like a fucking building site at R5 in the morning. Somebody's wages are being paid short for the third week on the run, and the fucking boss is like, oh, you'll have to fucking phone payroll. Like, it's an 0345 number, I'll just fucking phone payroll. You're me manager. No, it's nothing to do with me. My wages were sweet. And then you're like, fucking, hi guys, everyone having a good day?
The situation's like, innit? The situation's like.
But no, I'm contradicting myself because obviously I love that. I love the fact that there's people there, and if somebody smiles at me on the road, if someone smiles at me, like with my job, I work a lot of nights, like I mentioned to you last night, I've got called into work, so your interaction with people is restricted apart from the lads that I'm working with. But last night I was fucking popping my head out from a man, I was doing work with it, without getting bored about the broadband spine work, so we're in Manholes a lot. I fucking popped my head out, and some woman got a fucking flight, and I just smiled at her. And next thing, she had a fucking big beaming smile. She's probably made up that she ain't going to get fucking murdered, you know what I mean? But because a smile goes a long way, lad.
Nah, I know what you mean, lad. I know what you mean. Well, look, right, I think we're going to have to cut it short for today, Joe, but I'd love to have you back on, lads. And, like, obviously, I'll chat after this.
There's no way that's short. Surely that's not fucking short, lad. That was really...
Well, it's not short, but...
Yeah.
I just said what was in my head, lad. I just thought I've got fucking other stuff to do, lad, you know what I mean?
That was good, lad. Sound, that's perfect timing, that. Boss, lad.
No worries. For everyone out there, Tony's details and all that will be at the bottom, not that he's on social media and all that. I'm sure Tony will come back on in the future. I'll speak to him about it after I've stopped recording. Make sure when it's out, get full guard MMA. I'll send some up to you, Tony, when they're little rash guards and all gear and that, some gloves. And Ashley will be back soon as well when the fucking fat ass could be asked getting up and fucking doing it. But yeah, good. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell.
So dead quick, Neil, before we go, mate, are we still on that?
Yeah, we're still on, lads.
Yeah, so dead quick. Just thanks again to my coaches, Harry McKnight and Kev Corkhill. If anyone's in Liverpool or over the water and they want to have a little look, try the Martial Arts and Precision Combat Academy. Also as well, my sponsors, Hard Light Fightwear, they've looked after me now for years. Any fight gear that you need, any jiu-jitsu gear, Thai boxing, MMA, anything like that, have a look at hardwirefightwear.com. And there's a little discount code there, just put Duffy 20 in and you get 20% off any gear.
Yeah, 50% for me, lad. But what I'll do is send us some links, lad, and I'll put them in the thing below, and then you can just click on it below and make sure you put Duffy 20 in as well.
Happy days. Nice one, Neil.
Go on, lad. Nice one. See you later, guys.